Similarities between games, whether it's a ripoff or not, have me thinking all throughout the night. An example? What would Pokemon taste like? Is it crazy to say I want to eat one? What would be the outcome if the gym leaders were swapped with Power World bosses? If the verses were swapped, who would prevail? I've seen the edits, I've seen the fan animation. Honestly, I'm here for it. Of course, a collab is unlikely, but there's always Persona and Digimon around the corner, and I wouldn't mind going to a new dungeon. I feel like they could probably add a Mementos or Tartarus dungeon from Persona. I did the Terraria dungeon already, it was pretty fun. One thing I like about Power World that I don't like about Pokemon: you don't need Z moves, you don't need Mega Evolution, you don't need Trade Evolution, and you don't need Evolutionary Stones. Also, your moveset is your choice. I need more. I want to talk about my favorites from both, not just who beats who or how they should work together. A favorite for me is based off looks and looks alone. I don't mind bizarre features, but if I don't like it, I'm not gonna be invested. I only learned the lore for something I've worked for. I'm showing you what I want to use. Hydrolon, Ignius, and Moltres are my favorite, but they're not my number one favorite. And it doesn't mean they're bad, doesn't mean they're weak. It might be because they're hard to obtain or better options. Charizard is one example I can think of for Moltres. They share fire type flying. Moltres has a better ability, but Charizard has more moves. The Galarian variation is still weaker than Mega Charizard Y and X. Hydrolon Ignius is like very late. Every time I look at Renjishi, I just think about Jiraiya from Naruto. Yes, Jiraiya has green, but red, black, and white not far from it. I could see him fighting alongside the other ninjas. Ho-Oh is similar to Moltres, they both have fire flying, but I like the gold color and the orange accents. I couldn't think of them when I was looking at Moltres. That's why I didn't mention them. Moltres looks like a phoenix, but Ho-Oh has a name that means phoenix. I love Red Eyes Black Dragon. It's why I like Haxorus. And I love armored dragons. Kinda remind me of Zekrom. It's got like a futuristic look to it. That's why I love Astagon. Hopefully I pronounced that right. It's a lot easier to catch Astagon than those other two pals I just showed. For me, I don't want to spread any misinformation. I feel like if Haxorus was in Power World, he would definitely have Dark type and Dragon type for his shiny, cause some shinies do change the type you get. Ignius, Lux, Primo, and Terra are my favorite skins in Power World. That's about it. I don't really like green and blue, so Botan and Noct, I don't really want those. If it wasn't for certain breeding combinations, I probably wouldn't use Christ, the ice variation of certain pals. Wouldn't use Aqua, the water type variation for certain pals. Tied at 2 is Rayquaza and Jormuntide Ignis. It might be a stretch to say, but Jormuntide reminds me of Gyarados in its shiny form. Of course, it's mostly black rather than red and has white instead of yellow, but it's almost there. I wouldn't mind flying the skies with Hydrolon, but it is nice to change it up with Jormuntide Ignis. They both have the same fire dragon type. Rayquaza is a dragon flying type though. It's a better option than Salamence. It's not blue. Remember, I don't like blue. It's not like I'm allergic to it. I just like this better. It's a legendary with a mega evolution. Not the first time, not the last time. It's sort of like Shenron from Dragon Ball Z. You don't get any wishes from it, but the body type. What do I mean by that? Seiryu and Leviathan. Those two. Seryu is a mythological guardian in East Asian mythology. That makes sense because Rayquaza keeps Kyogre and Groudon in check, while Leviathan is from ancient mythology in the Hebrew Bible, the Old Testament. It's way worse than the Kraken. In the end, it was probably the most obvious, but it's Charizard and Moldrin. Infernape wishes it had as many forms as Charizard. This kaiju form is sort of like his giant making King Kong or Godzilla-esque form, if I say so myself. It still keeps the fire type flying, but it has flames like Endeavor. Moldrin shares this same feature too, where the flames spew out of its body. It's a lot smaller though, but they both look cool. Yes, Jormuntide Ignius has level 7 kindling in base, but this has 2 for 1. Moldrin has a level 5 in mining and kindling. It's basically a ground type Charizard with a real mean face. That's why I like it. They don't have to be red, black, and gold to be my favorite. Those might be my favorite colors, but I'm not always looking for that or for them to be fire based. Just cool in general. Where's Flameplate Shiny Arceus? Look, realistically, that is an expensive Pokemon. I'm not going through the hassle of trying to collect it, and I'll never be able to use it, so it's not my favorite. Now, White Kyurem was my favorite before the later generations came out.